Okay, so it's 5:45 in the morning, and I don't really have any idea what's going on anywhere. Still is outside. It's pouring rain. Um, Last night was about a whole day, and I don't really know a lot what's going on in the world, but I'm gonna talk about the stuff that's going on in my life, and the whatever this rainstorm that has come in, and they're saying there could be floods and all this stuff. Where my neighbor messaged me and was like, "Oh my gosh, the storm! And I don't have any food. Haven't gone to the store." I was like, "Well, I have food, by the way." And then I was like, I don't know. Sometimes from people from other countries and stuff, they don't hear things the way you say them. Like we all have our specific ways we talk to each other in our own communities. And there's definitely been things I've said where it's like, so what are you saying? And so I don't know, she's just like thinking I'm like snub. I've got food. So, but it's like, I've got food, don't worry, I'll share. But anyways, I'll clarify it this morning to her if she's really worried. She said if the roads weren't bad, she was going to try and go out to get to the store because I guess the storm's only building. And I'm really feeling super emotional right now too. And I says yesterday was so I'll just go to yesterday, but I do want to interject this one thing. Another one of these people, these love and light people. I don't know what else to call them, but these love and light people who grand rising, I'm sure, and everything is, oh well, don't think about that. You better just go focus and meditate. Here's some affirmations, or you're gonna lose your vibration. It's kind of nonsense. And coming in and telling me I'm so negative and I need to do that. And then also she's sharing, or he, or whoever this person is, sharing information of other things you guys should go look at on YouTube. And high frequency music and stuff like that. So you can see their comments or whatever, but it's just the same kind of attitude. It's so strange to me. It's like, I'm going to go in and listen to this person out of all their, I mean, it's 2,500 videos or something at this point for almost 4 years. And they're going to listen to one video and then they're going to come in and start judging me and telling me, what I need to change, how I need to change. I need to really work on lifting my vibration and stuff like that. That person, I was like, you obviously don't even know what I talk about. Like, here you are commenting away because you are the holy one, holier than thou. You're going to go around to other people's channels and go in and correct them. And weird too, they have a channel, it says, with 2 subscribers. So maybe they're just pissed off at other people because they have a message. But if you have a message to put out there, you guys have to just see that. What am I doing? I'm just sitting here giving out my message. I've been doing it that long. The first year, at least, could have been over a year. I think it was 10 people. 10 people. And that was a big thing when it even got up to 10. And so it's, you just, this is the thing, is like when you're on that timeline. Once I went onto that timeline, it's not where it's like, okay, well, thanks, I did my work now. No, it's, you are on it, and even when you don't understand where it's taking you, you stay on it. But you don't jump on it because you feel like, oh, that's the way to success. No, is you have to follow your not your desires. I hear desires in my head, but your desires can lead you, but people are not clarified into their desires. People are, I think, that what they desire is what they need or something. Your desires can show you what it is that feels right to you, like, but it isn't where you can just like on mine before the brain injury, when I was, just like the rest of everybody else. And I was going out and, making life happen the way I thought it was supposed to. I was going out, man, I tightened this thing yesterday. Now it's driving me crazy. I put something on with it. And I was like, oh, well, if I made this tighter. So I tied another knot in it. and it felt fine all day, but then this morning it feels like, but I have my braid fucking fucked my neck, and I have a headache, and so maybe it just like, it's choking me now. Like, but anyways, so I gotta think what I was talking about. So in the programming, when you are running the program and you're keeping up with the Joneses, running a rat race in a dog-eat-dog world, it's all based on hierarchy, the bottom dog, top dog, the top dog looking down on the other dog, which to me, this is something I got in an argument with my mom when I was younger. Because I was like, well, what's the deal with communism? What's communism? And she's like, well, that's when everybody has everything. It's equal. And everybody, like, nobody can have more than somebody else. Everybody has the same. So it's more intentional, it's more controlled, but it's not coming from the spirit. But to me, that is a better philosophy, a better practice. And I think if you go back to our roots, into the tribes, you would see that there would be a king or whatever, a leader in their tribe of some of these, but it wasn't like a doggy, it would have been more of a birthright. So it was a position that you were born into, which that has shown throughout time has also fallen apart due to like emperors, like an emperor at 3 years old and stuff. And so those things have also shown that that's not the way to go. And everything, that's what, we look at our history of man and we decipher the design of the structure of what we created as a societal parameters, and then we have to wash it away in order to create something new. But it is historic impact of our lives, of the significance of our experiences and events that catapults us into revision of our parameters of our reality. And so I'm sure she's gonna want to come in a second. She's mad at me. It's because I haven't even talked about yesterday yet. Stella, if you want to come in, come in. Why are you just laying there crying? What do you think I'm gonna do? You think I'm gonna come outside? Like, what are you trying to get from me right now? I have to have this conversation with her all the time when she does this. Hold on. Here's Stella, so for people who didn't get to see her yesterday. Come on, Stella, come on. Hurry up. I am busy. No, I am working. There's the girl. There's my girl. Oh, I gotta get my towel. Hold on a second. Okay, scooch. I meant to bring this out here when I came because I knew I would need it. It's all supplement. Okay, so anyways, then so back when I was living in the rat race, and I was like, okay, I want to retire early. It was like the things that I wanted. And so it's kind of like, it's trippy because it's like the universe knows what you want. Because it's like destiny and stuff, but it's like you realizing, you knowing, you coming in contact with that thing of you. And so it's like the universe already knows all this. Like I've said, you're not surprising the universe. You're not getting up this morning and the universe is like, what's she gonna do today? Oh God, what are we gonna do? It's like, no, it's set. Like, you're going to do exactly what you're going to do. It's what keeps everything spinning in the direction it's going. It's like the same thing as all of a sudden, like, well, the plant's going to grow in a different thing today, or we're going to spin a different direction. It's like the same thing. It's like, no, what is natural is a natural occurrence. We are occurring due to universal law, and that is like those laws of, What goes around comes around. I don't know them all. I just know that that is the laws, like law of attraction. These things are what it is. Law of attraction is, see, like that magnetic pull, what they were showing me, because I was so confused about this person when this person started coming into my my orbit, into my reality, and it was very unexpected. And so, you know, I'm like, what the fuck, man? What is happening? And and I knew I was supposed to be meeting this person. That was becoming clear. I told people all the time, I'm going to be meeting this person. But I didn't know, you know, what the deal was or whatever. And then it's been made, a lot more things have been made clear to me throughout the thing. But what was I was going to say about that? Something, I don't know, maybe I'll remember in a minute. But back when I was like, it was more trying to force things. It was definitely, you know, like I'm gonna work, well, like a workaholic, so I can retire early. See, it's like this other state of mind. I'm gonna buy a house here. This was before my dad had died, and I was telling him I wanted to get a place down on the Texas coast, and I have been looking at places because I wanted to get like a little mobile home or something out and be one of those people who went back and forth and will live someplace all year round. And I have like that gypsy spirit. I just want to go out and experience and see the world and meet people and stuff. So anyways, but you go into like what they tell you, like your goal, what the things you want, they tell you how to reach them. So then you start going through their cycles of control in order to reach your goals. But then it's different if you just go to the universe. It's just different. Like they'll give you things and put you in positions where you need to be and stuff, but we get out of sync with the universe and we just start running programs and trying to force things. And then when you start trying to get in sync with the universe, it's a motherfucking battle, dude. Like, fuck, man. As it is, like this constant, the scales, you know, you're constantly, okay, am I going, oh, okay, wait a minute, whoa, okay, wait, okay. And you're constantly trying to figure out, like, am I forcing this? Am I pushing too hard? What is it I'm trying to accomplish? Can I sit back and I relax? Can I let things play out? Like there's this, it's a battle and I'm going through it yesterday. That's what I'll go into now is, because there's more stuff I could talk about that, but I gotta get this out of the way because this is like, fuck, man. The whole day literally was weird as shit. Because I had been having, like the dogs that wanted to go, like, because I've been taking them places, they like it, and I can tell when they're like, Stella especially, she always makes her stuff known. You know, she's bored, she's mad, she's sad, she's side-eyeing me so hard this morning, side-eyeing me last night. I mean, she's just, I can tell she's very upset with me, and I know that they don't understand all the stuff going on, and it's very frustrating. So I can understand her being mad at me. But anyway, so they, I told them we'll go to the park thing. I wanted to run out and get a couple things because, I don't know. I have no idea. It felt like an impulse of like going out and because I needed to get water. And then it was like, okay, so I should just go ahead and go do a couple more things while I'm out. I'll take the dogs and we'll go for a walk. And so then I start, like, as I'm driving, I start thinking of the places that we go. And I had already been thinking of it before because of how crazy Max goes. It just runs off. I'm like, how do I solve this, man? Fucking dog parks that have fences are the best things. Because dogs want to just go and run. They want to go and they want to run. They want to go sniff stuff. They want to jump around. They want to them, the biggest adventure is just to go and see something different. Stella loves just going out to her regular path and smelling all the stuff the whole way, eating the grass, and it's like whatever the smells, it's like they're registering, who's been there, what's going on in the neighborhood or something. It tells them a lot. And so she loves to do that. And so they get a lot out of it, going someplace different. It's like it wears them out because it makes them think a lot. And so it's really good. Like if you have dogs that are high energy and stuff, that is, if they drive you crazy and stuff, like that is the thing. Take them out walking, or like take them out running. Because just going for a walk around the neighborhood, that may not get all their energy out. Like, especially if you're strolling like with Stella. Like, you got the other two are just like wild. And, but then if you can take them somewhere where they can just run. And like at the dog park, all these people go and bring their huskies out in the morning and stuff before they go to work, and let them just go run, 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 so that they can be more tired. There's some of those people, though, that they say they have to take their dog to the dog park 3 times a day to get its energy out. That's high energy dogs. And a lot of people don't realize, like, they think a dog is just a generic thing. They don't understand, like, certain breeds have certain personalities. And so then they get a dog just because they think it's pretty, but they don't realize, like, this dog has to be, like, they all have different things. Everybody, like, and I know that was, like, something to me when I went to the dog training thing. And one of the trainers made a thing about that and told us all to go look up our dog breed and read about it. And when you're doing that, it's like, God, that's so weird. You go get these dogs and you don't do that first. And just there's been a lot of things on my experience where I've like, God dang, we do stupid shit. I mean, we do have an idiocracy to us, but they feed into that. They want to keep us in that state. That's why this is such a beautiful time of advancement for humankind, because of all of the systems we're breaking free from, all of the mind control and stuff. So everything you're doing to break free from that is advancement. Even if you still feel like you have programs you're running, every time you break free to make decisions for yourself, you're breaking their programs. So anyways, when I went to go tape, so I was already feeling really weird and edgy about the whole thing. And it was stressing me out. So I'm driving, I'm like, okay, so if we go there, and I'm trying to play it out. Okay, and I brought this long, like one of those things that you, the things that the people all tie their dogs to out here. Because Winston and Stella had to be on those when we first moved in, because I didn't know that people were so weird about territory out here. And I just saw somebody, they're fucking weird ass, and this is really sad. I'll throw this in here too. Because I saw this yesterday or the day before in the morning time or something. So this couple who lives out with their kids, and they have property, and there's some other neighbors around, and they live there, I don't know if she said 6 or 7 years or something, but they're established out of the people. And then this other people moved in this summer, and she said, and they didn't know them, talk to them or anything. And she said her cameras had picked up that the lady came over all of a sudden in August, just comes over to their house. And they've never talked to him or anything. So the woman comes over to her house. The lady's chihuahuas are out or something. I don't know how many she has. But her chihuahuas go up and start biting this woman or barking at her and snipping at her. And so she goes crazy and runs home and calls the police. So she calls the police and she calls animal control. So Chihuahuas are bitches, but they usually get away with it because they're so little. And unless they go for the face. But man, there's a lot of those little dogs. Like a lot of people get bit hard by dachshunds, Chihuahuas. Those dogs are, and to me, they're really high strung. Like when you start going into more giant breeds, there's something with the soul. Like those high-strung souls don't go into these giant breeds. Like it's the same thing of giving, a human magic before it's ready. So anyways, so all this weird thing started, and the police told the lady, well, you're on her property, and the animal control didn't do anything. So anyways, these people, I guess, have been fuming this whole time. So, and I don't remember, it seems like she said that there's been some other strange interactions where they know that these people have a problem. Like, these people are constantly calling the police on them or calling animal control on them or something. There's this weird shit with these people. And this is all in a couple months. Like, they just moved in and come in hard like this in this neighborhood, but it gets worse. So the guy, the mom, is out at the school picking up the kids. And they've got like a 7 or 9 year old, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and then maybe a baby or something. And so she's picking up these school ones, and the other kid is with the dad or something, and they have a bigger dog that is a mix, but she said it kind of has like a pit face, but it's just big, it's old. She's had it since 2012. It just kind of lays around the yard, doesn't do much, and doesn't, go run around or anything. And so it's just laying out in the yard, and so there's a road, and so these people's property goes up their road, and their dog's just laying there kind of near the road, but just laying there. And the man's out working, so probably the dog's doing the same thing Stella does. And if I go out and start working in the yard, Stella goes and sets her place, and she watches. So I don't have to watch out. She watches, and she notifies me, and she notifies anybody else, don't come around here and mess with us. And so I'm sure it was like the same kind of thing, the dog is just like, oh, I'm going to watch it, because that's their working when they do that. And they enjoy that. It gives them purpose in life. And so the neighbor man just all of a sudden comes out of his house, walks over, and just dead ass their dog right here through back here. The police come, everything, there's blood everywhere. The woman's pulling up from picking up the kids. There's cops, there's blood. The husband's, get in the house. And she's like, what's happening? And that's going to make me cry. My tissues. My tissues came in the mail yesterday. And so she's saying, get in the house. And so she puts the kids in the house, and she comes out to see what's happening, sees what's going on, their dog's shot and stuff like that. And so she, they're like, hurry, get the dog to the vet. So she scoops him up, hurries, and takes off, goes to the vet. Dog has to go straight into emergency surgery. Because this is the kind of stuff I worry about too. Like, if you have a dog that people are scared of, there's maniacs out there. And so they this is so fucking mental. Like, I can't even fucking get over some of these people are so, like, we are literally where people are like the devils. We live with devils. We live with devils all around us. They are eaten up with dark energy. They're not doing anything to make themselves feel better, heal their own pain, or anything. They just live off the dark. And they just feed their anger and their hate. And so the vet comes out and says, I don't think there was shots. It looks like there was something it was some kind of thing, but she goes, it was definitely a bullet. But there was an entry and an exit. So they go in and try and do surgery to save them and stuff. And it shredded the jugular, and there was nothing they could do. And so the dog died. And so the man got charged, taken to jail, got $1 million bond or something. And he was out in a couple hours. I was like, you can't be downplaying. Like, this guy came out with a weapon with the man and the kid, like, right in the yard, in someone's own yard, crossed across the street, came into their own yard, and did that to a dog just laying there. Like, it is, but see, I completely recognized what they're dealing, because that is what I dealt with when I very first moved in. Like, if you don't remember about me talking about that, with these weird neighbors who have called animal control and stuff on me and try and get me in trouble and come out and start threatening that they're going to kick my ass. This was all over when my daughter was here. And when I very first moved in, you know, and I think, oh, we're moving in the country. It's going to be so much more laid back. People aren't going to be weird about dogs. All the dogs will get to know it. Like, I'm thinking this totally fantasy land. And then I move out here and it's like, oh, these are people who hate everybody. And lots of poor people, lots of drugs, lots of people. Like, it's changing now. But especially 4 years ago, you know, my house was still cheap when I moved in. And so so when my daughter had come over, the one who doesn't speak, she used to speak to me. And so she had come over, and her dog, the one with the anxiety that I watched while she was in school. So he has anxiety, but he's a lab. He loves to run. He just loves to go, go, go. I've talked about that when I had him. And he'd just take off. He'd dig out, like, it was mental how much this dog wanted to leave. That's what was Jack was giving me PTSD on that. And I'm like, fuck, I can't go through that again. And so anyways, I'm shuffling through all this stuff. Where am I? So okay, so we were gonna go for a walk over to where the new development. That's where we used to go walk around with the dogs and stuff. And so I was walking. I was told her, well, we could go for a walk over here, just like the woods and stuff. And so we start walking, and I think we had leashes on them or anything. We're just walking, and the neighbor comes out and starts losing his fucking mind. There's a leash law. You know how many motherfucking people I have seen go by with no fucking leash? And those people haven't said shit. I'm the only one that I've ever heard them say shit to them about. It's like, well, did I seem like an easy target, a single woman or something, so you thought you could fucking manhandle me and bully me? Fuck off, like, you fuckers. Like, goddamn. And so, because I see men all the time going by and their dogs are just going all over the place. And those people don't come out and say shit. Oh, I just can't believe it. Because they came out and made this huge fucking thing. And so, her dog went over and pooped in their yard. And so when he came out and he started yelling at me that our dog pooped in their yard, I thought it was like joking, like, you know, like, you're in the woods and you're freaking out because a dog pooped in your yard. I was like, Jesus, what the hell? Like, this is what I'm saying. Some people are like, what? Every little thing, there's nothing left to look at. It's like, fuck, you can stay away from those fucking volcanoes. So that's what we got. We got a bunch of volcanoes walking around us. And magma's up here. And they're about to blow. So this guy starts telling me that he's going to kick my ass. I said, do you want me to go and clean up the poop? And he starts just yelling at me. And he's out in the streets yelling at me like a new neighbor. I just moved in. He's out here yelling at me and telling me he's going to kick my ass. And I don't remember all the stuff he was saying. It was mental. And then he starts telling me, I think at some point then I start saying something back. And I don't remember what I said. And then he starts telling me his wife's going to come kick my ass. And she comes out. And she starts fucking yelling at me. And I'm like, what in these people are crazy. So then I lived this whole time, you know, with these crazy people, which my daughter got so freaked out, she left. She was like very much like the programmed anxiety. There's definitely some generations that every little thing is just creates so much anxiety. And I don't know what in their programming. It's like stuff that these people will have to break and then like tell us like, yeah, it was whatever. Everybody's got to break, you know, and we have generational programming. Like there's certain generations we were hit hard with certain information. And I don't know, because there's some times where it's like, fuck, I am a goddamn prude. Like I can't even get over this new trend on this fucking cheerleading shit. It's so, okay. When Robert Palmer did that song, didn't everybody kind of feel like when he was making those girls all look just the same? It was like this robot, Stepford Wives kind of vibe. Like, like women, just generic robot women. And, you know, I don't look at it as like, oh yeah, that's so sexy, let's all look alike. Like, well, look at this thing that they've been pushing us. You know, everybody needs to look like a Kardashian or something. Like, what a stressor. And so they have this look that they're trying to push. To me, it's this anime, which goes back to this freaking fetishy kind of Asian fetish kind of thing. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like a geisha, a teen geisha or something. I don't know what the fuck. So they are pushing this anime character look on everybody, and there's all these girls jumping in and being like, oh, look at me, I look like the best anime character. They don't know what they're looking like, I don't think, but they all want to have this look. But so there's all these cheerleaders. So when I was first seeing the North Korean, I don't think it's the North Korean, it must be the South Korean, but the cheerleaders, and they all look so much alike. I was like, God, that's so weird. And their cheer is just this, like, that's it. That's it. That's their cheer. I was like, so all you got to do is, like, I don't know how tall they are. They look like they're all really tall and thin. Like, they'll have a certain structure to them. And then they all, like, I'd seen some teams, and all the girls had long black hair. There's another one where the girls have some different hairs. There's even some bleached blondes out of it. But now I'm seeing these other American cheerleader teams coming, and they're going out, and they're all the girls. And this is primarily, I've seen, well, the ones I've seen so far have been black schools. And there's something natural in people that they try and turn into something else, because I definitely can see, like, there's a natural thing in people, like, you know, to want to go out and dance and stuff like that. And so, but what they've turned it into, so all of these girls come out, they all have the matching, they look like the same person, which, so you got 10 or 12 girls coming out, and they look like the same person. They have on, like, man, back when I was in school, like, cheerleader skirts had gone up, because, like, in the 50s, they were, like, down to their knees. Then they went up, and they were, you know, like, more like mini skirts. Now, I don't even know what, you know, they've gone littler and littler to now they've dropped the skirt. They just wear the underwear and then some kind of shirt thing, a little, like, the most skimpiest clothes. This is like stuff that people wear who work in strip clubs and stuff. And, you know, like that one that I worked at, that's like what we wore as waitresses. These little leotards and a little, like a thing, you know, like trying to copy the bunnies or whatever, like a little thing. I don't remember, like a little tuxedo thing or something. And so so they're dressed, to me, like they look like strippers. Like, from my look, what I see, it's like, this is weird. And this is high school kids. I mean, some of them could be college ones. I think that, and then they come out, and then the dance they start doing is so stripper. It's like, what in the hell? Why do we have girls that feel like that they have to go out and sell themselves sexually, be this generic thing? We're all going to look this same way, so then we're going to, so is it this look? Is this the desired look? You know, I don't know. The whole thing is so weird to watch all these people just conform out of identity. And even if it's just for a show or something, that's what I'm saying, you know. There's a lot of people will be like, okay, prude, like, it's big deal. It's just cheerleaders coming out and dancing. But when I have a comparison to what, like, fuck, the cheerleaders we had, Jesus Christ. Like, those people come running out, and they're fucking doing shit across the stage, jumping and all this kind of shit. They weren't just coming out and grinding and shaking their ass out like that. they went out and did like fucking flips and jumping and cheering like they were out there to, come on everybody, let's go. And now it's just like, okay, now we're gonna have the stripping performance is gonna come out for our entertainment. Like all the kids, like we all want to watch that. Like if my daughter was a cheerleader, I'd be like, come on. Like yeah, they're training them up for the pole. That's what we got going here, pole training. It's like, what the fuck? So, I don't know. But that is what NFL cheerleaders, you know, like the big thing when they made such a big thing about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I think it's because they were wearing barely anything and just going out being sexy and stuff. So they just wanted, like, they changed it without girls realizing it. They changed it from girls going out and come on and you know, and having skills and stuff to now, fuck, just look, put on a wig, put on a skimpy outfit, do some grinding, and you're good to go. Like, fuck, I could have become cheerleader easy. When I went to try out, it was like you had to have some skills and some rhythm and stuff. I wasn't quite there. So, like I didn't even have timing. Like it would be like, so, and some of these girls, I'm sure, have skills. Some of them, I'm sure, have been to tumbling classes and all of that stuff. But I think that the cheerleader, I don't know. It's all school administration and stuff. I mean, they're all Tim Wallses, man. Got a bunch of those fucking people. They're just there for the kid access. They don't give a shit. Like, they just want access to some kids that are feeling sad and looking for somebody to make them feel better. Fucking weirdos. This school system's got to go. It's falling apart hard too. The videos I've seen, it's falling apart hard. People are just like, this is fucking, and it's pushing so hard too. It's like, I don't see how you could have your kid in school and not feel like they're pushing us out on purpose. Like, this is getting too mental. So, but that is going to be all a part of, like, that's going to collapse. The school system is going to go. And that is what was getting me a couple years ago when they were putting all this money in building these big new schools. I was like, what in the fucking bullshit is this? And I just drove past one last week or the week before when I was going down, when I was going to do my ring. And this one big school that they had torn down, and then they built this other one up in Bellingham. And I drive past it, and it's so fucking fancy. It's like, what a fucking waste of money. But maybe, you know, I don't know, some of these things are going to be underwater. And the more closer we get to all this shit, the more you just see more and more videos explaining to you exactly what's going to happen over here. It's like, fuck, man. And you just got to go with, like, at the time, you know, like it will come to, like, do you stay put? Do you evacuate? Because there's not like well, if you evacuate, you're for sure gonna, no, it can be evacuation crises for sure. And like, there's nothing is a for sure. Like, that's what everybody's got to get out of their head. You have any kind of for sure thing. No, it's all up for grabs. And it's not for our grabbing. It's like, will be grabbed. And we want, when it's not anything we can do about it. It's like, this is, you know, it's a set thing. And we agreed to it before we came. So that's where we got to just keep remembering, like, you know, sometimes so I'm always like, God, what the hell? Like, what all of you agreed to? God damn. Like, what the hell? I swear to God, that's where I start feeling like, no wonder souls have to work on their egos. Like, what the fuck, man? Shit is hard. And something else I was going to say about that. But I get back to this thing of my situation. So yesterday when we went, and I was like, trying to work it out, what would be the best situation? So I decided we would go back to the camping one. And I decided, well, I'll find that field where those other people were parked. I'll pull in there, and it's got that big field. And I kept thinking, but fuck, man, he goes crazy running, and the road's not that far. If he goes crazy running that way, he's going to go out and get hit. And so I'm like, fuck, man. So then but I brought that long lead thing. So I was like, okay, well, I'll keep him on there. So that was keeping him more, but Archie got off. I let him run because he was staying, and then he was having so much fun running so fast, and then poor Max is just sitting there like the punished child. So I was like, okay, you can go run, you guys can go race. And so we take off, and they take off running, and then they start going like they're gonna go down the street. So I was like, oh my fucking God. And I was like, okay, still, and she wants to go, like, she'll go round them up. And I said, no, we got to go the other way. We got to walk this way. We got to make them come to us. If we go towards them, they're going to keep running the other way. We've got to go the other way so that they start following us. And so we start walking the other way. So Archie right away comes running and runs and catches up with us, but passes us and goes up and starts looking at more things and trying to show us this cool thing he found. And Max is lingering and lingering because he's a street fucking thug. I swear to God, he gets out there and he's just like, nothing matters. And so he would run and stuff. I ended up eventually getting him back on the thing. And but I let Archie went off and on it a couple times too, but I let him go back off. And he was going wild, man. He was, and to me, I thought, oh, look how much fun he's having. And we were, because there's like some gullies and little things you have to walk and stuff. They're probably full of water right now. But like it emptied out, like where there was a whole bunch of water. So when you go walk in it, you have to walk down it and then walk across it and then walk back up to get to the other side. And then down in there, it's like being in an empty creek bed or something. And they're running and jumping and all that stuff. And he was having so much fun. And then he wouldn't come to me, though. So when we started trying to go back to get in the car, and I was like, okay, let's just go get back in the car. Stella's already going really slow. And she had before, when Archie was running, Stella had went and tried to run with him. Like, she wants to go do that stuff too. She's always doing it in her dreams. She's always running in her dreams. But she can't run like that. She's never been able to. Because that's when she got diagnosed as having arthritis when she was a baby. And she was running, she just was irritated. And so her hip dysplasia, so I don't know, it's a whole thing I didn't even know existed. And so but if I would have read into the breed, but it wasn't even me who was seeking the breed, it was the ex of mine. And so I didn't know anything about it. I just, once we got it, I fell in love with Lucy. I'm in love with Stella. And, Stella leaves me, I want to have another one. I love this breed. And I would hope that Stella just keeps coming back to me. But if I get a farm, Stella could come back to me in a cow or a goat or anything. Like, there was a girl I've seen telling her story about her dog dying, and she has a really cool story about having a dream. And then, no, that was it. There was two different ones I had seen. One of them, hers came back as a horse. And there was a whole thing about the dog. It was a whole thing. It was really cool. And as the other one, hers came back as another puppy. And her story was really cool too. But anyways, they come back. And you just have to pay attention. But they'll circle back through your life. Just like in that one movie that they showed, where the dog would go to other families and come to another one. Like, that was a dog's life, though. But all the souls, that doesn't necessarily mean it's just doing just dogs. So it's, all our souls have different roles or positions or something. And, because there's lots and lots of humans who have been different animals and stuff like that. And so anyways, it's all about this evolution. It's about your soul evolving, and you evolve through information and experience. And so anyways, so we go, and he's running around and acting really crazy. And then I finally get him back in the car, and he was giving me grief. He wasn't just jumping in the car. He's running around the car. I'm like, what in the hell has gotten into this guy? And even at one point when he was running and being so wild, Stella tried to stop him. She, she's very corrective, like a mama bear or something to her cubs. And so she goes over to try and correct him. And he jumps up and goes at her like like a little monster. Like, I was like, what? He's so, like, every time she comes near him, he's like, oh, I don't want her to talk to me. And then all of a sudden he's like, what, bitch? Like, I was like, fuck, what the hell's into him? And so, get him in the car. We get back to the house. I go in and start doing whatever, bringing in the stuff. Oh, yeah, because I had gotten some food and stuff. So I'm bringing in stuff and I'm putting it away. And he's just coming, just wild, running around. I go in the bedroom to do something. I go in there and he comes running in there. And I think he did fall. I think he did fall. Because I was like, oh yeah, because Max had come in there too. Max had ran in there and he was trying to hang out with me too. And then, like I told you, Archie bullies Max. So he runs at him or something on the bed. Max fell off the bed and he left to go back out with Stella. Like, poor Max. And so he, so then, I was walking around, I went back in there and Archie's following me all around and he runs, jumps on the bed and he falls off the bed. I was like, karma, see? You gotta be nice, don't act like that. And so he's jumping and running around on my bed and I finished what I was doing. I come out here and then they all wanted a treat, so I gave him a treat and he was, I don't know when I noticed, but all of a sudden I noticed he was like wobbling. He was just like, it was for like a second on the bed. I thought like he was like, and I was like, man, is he being like wobbly or something? Like, and I was thinking, well, maybe because it was like how hard he was running and jumping on everything. Maybe he's just really like wore himself out. Like maybe puppies just are kind of mindless. Don't think like, oh, I'm tired, I'll stop now. Like, I was so confused. And so then when he came out, he ate the treat. And then he started being more wobbly. He was just being all wobbly and kind of falling over and stuff like a drunk person. And I was like, what the hell? And so then he jumped up on the couch and he laid down and he just passed out. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? And then, I've seen these videos of people being out on walks and seen all sorts of different things. But the neurotoxin thing, and the one girl got that from the water, and then it was like, fuck, when you're out in the forest and they're sniffing around and stuff, like, fuck, I don't know. And so I was like, maybe he got something that he's allergic to, maybe he got some neurotoxin thing or something. Kind of was worrying me. So I was kind of going and I was sitting next to him and I was like, I kept waking him up. I'm keeping my hand on his heart, trying to feel because he's just so out, like, whoa. And I'm like, what the hell? And so then there was a couple times like he would all of a sudden get a bout of energy and would jump up and he would start running around. And then he would all of a sudden go like all wobbly and then go jump back up and lay back down. And I was like, what in the world? And yeah, that. Because all of a sudden the inner ear infection just came into my mind. But anyways, so but I was feeling nervous about the neurotoxin thing. And so I made the fucking mistake. But this is the thing about this fucking foster bullshit, man. I'm so over it. I am so motherfucking over it. I'm telling you. Like, this is, and I'm completely having PTSD about Morty. Like, there's all this stuff coming up. I'm just, like, so frustrated right now. I'm so upset. So I called, or no, I messaged, it's Shelly and Shannon are the ones that have something to do with the medical thing. And so you have to get permission and all this stuff. And you have to ask them, well, what do you guys think? Because it's their dog. You're just taking care of it, right? And so which then it even just goes into more stuff, just like where people keep going into Goodwill and being so mad about, like, this stuff is all given to you for free. And you're charging this outrageous fees and stuff for it. It's poor people. because that's who normally shopped at thrift stores before it got popular. And so, anyways, the so I messaged him and I sent some videos and I tried to feed him again and he jumps up and I was videotaping and then he turns around and he falls down. And so they want me to take him to emergency immediately. And so I'm just like, fuck. And they're telling me, just start heading to this one. So I look it up and it's like fucking almost 3 hours away. Oh my God damn. And I think it was like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something. And no, it must have been later. Oh yeah, it was around 1. So I was like, fuck. But you know, it's like, well, what else am I doing anyways? It's like, okay. So I start getting my stuff together and they're messaging me saying, yeah, you got to take him immediately to the thing. And so, because I'm thinking, well, you know, I mean, it's so strange. Does he have like some neurological problem? Like, is there some kind of a neurological thing that pugs have that I don't know about? And that they all of a sudden can go loony and they're stuck being loony now. And so I was like, you know, I'm just, okay. And so I was thinking, I bet you he just needs to sleep this off. And I bet you he would be fine. I bet you he's just fucking tired and worn out and he just needs to sleep. And so but you know, it's not my call. So I go and load him up and get him on the thing. And they're telling me, just go. We're calling every place and we'll tell you when we've got the place that you're going. Just start heading that direction. And so, like, okay. So I'm driving and then they call me and tell me to go to this one emergency place in Linwood. So it's right, like Seattle. So I didn't have to go into Seattle. It's like on the outside of Seattle, but still same fucking traffic, everything. And so I'm going and driving and trying to get there. And they're like in a panic or something. And, you know, tell me whatever, all this stuff. So we get there and I take him in. And the ladies are telling me, okay, just go take him, drop him off, and then you just go. He's going to have to stay. He's going to have to be there. He could be there for days. He's got to be monitored. Neurological things can be very dangerous and all that stuff. So they're like, just go, drop him off and leave. And they just keep pushing me, hurry up, drop him off and leave. And I'm just like, well, you know, that hadn't even said he's staying yet or anything. And then when I got him out of the car and I took him in, he seemed fine. He seemed completely fine. And I said, I think he slept it off, whatever was going on, because he seems fine now. And so they say, well, we could do his vitals. And I said, okay. So they take him back to his vitals and they call the rescue place. Because the rescue place is when, like, this is not my dog. They make it so. And so the rescue place said, oh, no, he's staying. No, we want this done, all this stuff. And so then I was like, okay. And they told the girl at the vet place to tell me just to leave. Hurry up. Just tell her just to leave. That the dog's staying. And so the girl gets off the phone and she starts telling me that they told her to tell me that he's staying, that I need to leave, and that no matter what, he's staying because that he needs to be closer to the hospital. Now that he's got this issue, he can't be out at my house. He's got to be closer to the hospital. And so I'm just like, so I go out and I talk to them and she's like, oh no, she's just doing the same thing. No, he has to stay. He has to go. He has to stay in town. He can't leave Seattle now. He has to be near the hospital and all this stuff. And so I'm like, you know, saying, well, how do I get him back? And I'm sitting here thinking, well, I'm trying to adopt him. And she's asking me all this stuff about the stuff. And I'm like, well, I live in the forest. If she's telling me, go out and pick all the mushrooms of your yard. I'm like, I live in the forest. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I live in the forest in a cabin. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know that that's a good... Jesus, Stella. Excuse me. Oh, God. Hold on. Jesus Christ. This is, I swear to God, this has been my fucking... Oh, God. Okay, I'll just hold it. So she starts saying, well, this could be mushrooms, and mushrooms are so dangerous that the neurotoxin is so dangerous for pugs and all this stuff. And so I'm like, so I start feeling like, fuck, am I putting this dog in a dangerous situation? If he eats these mushrooms, and these mushrooms are so toxic, is this the universe trying to tell me, like, you know, we're moving him away from you or something? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like this battle towards this. Like, am I forcing this? Am I like, what? Whoa, it's so fucking gray. And there's so much of, like, where you have to figure it out for you. What do you know? And it's like, there's so much communication. Like, I don't know what people do if they don't have that. Like, I swear to God, I don't know how they live. And so now I'm like feeling like, fuck, I'm insecure about my yard and the living conditions or something. I must be mental, taking him to walk in the forest. And and now I'm thinking, like, what fucking, and at this point too, I have no idea what the deal is with him. Like, if he's got some mental, like, I have no idea. And then the vet girl comes out and she says she's looking for me. And so I rolled down my window because they told me to leave. And then I rolled down my window and I was like, because I could tell she was looking for me. And I come out and she's like, yeah, the vet doesn't want you to leave. He needs to talk to you. So you need to stay here. And I was like, okay. So then I'm staying. Then they put me in a room and I'm having to keep going out because I have these dogs with me too. And I have to keep going out and taking, you know, talking to them. I'm going back in and I'm waiting. And so the rescue place is telling me, leave him. You know, it's like they're basically telling me that, you know, they're taking him back away from me. And I'm thinking, like, how does this work now? Because are they going to try to block my adoption? Like, I'm like panicking. And I'm like, do all the girls know? And then the one girl, Heather, and Danielle are the ones that is doing the contract for making payments. It's a whole contract thing. And my neighbor had printed it out, so I'd got it in the morning from her. And so I had that, and I had messaged the lady, and because it says about the dates of withdrawal. So I was going to ask her about, I messaged her, and I said about the dates of withdrawal. Can I just pick the days? Like, can I make them match my paycheck thing? And I hadn't heard from her. And I kept checking, and I still hadn't heard from her. So I was like, okay, so, you know, I don't know what this all means. And I'm trying to read, you know, what is the universe trying to show me or tell me? And so I go, and I'm sitting in there waiting. Then the vet comes in. And she's just the most nicest, chattiest girl. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know how she's getting work done. She's just going in. Like, this lady who was next to me in this other room, I heard her in there talking to her for like a half hour. She was in there talking to me for a long time. And so she was, what she told me is that she was asking me a bunch of questions and stuff. And I told her about everything. And she said, well, it seems like he got into some marijuana. And she says, do you have marijuana at your house? And I said, yeah, but I keep it put up. Like, I don't just marijuana just sitting around the house. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not 20 years old. You know, like, because you hear those kinds of stories of like, yeah, well, my dog ate my pot. My dog got into my gummies and all this kind of stuff. It's like, where's your stuff? Like, I don't know, maybe it's people who, like, once you've had kids, I think you just automatically always put stuff up. So, you know, my stuff is all put up. I don't just have it laying out, easy access. And ashtrays don't have, I mean, like, they have, the dog has not gone up and gone in the ashtray and got a butt out of an ashtray. I hadn't seen him digging around in ashtrays or anything. And so I said, you know, if they even found a butt, like a little filter, there's nothing there, just a filter. It's just paper. Like, would that do something to him? And she was like, well, he probably got it out on the walk. And so we were having all this discussion. She was telling me the difference of all these things. Like, she told me the difference of this neuro thing that happens to pugs. She told me the difference of the mushroom thing. And she even told me the difference of edibles and meth, because they see all this. This is all coming into the vets all the time, she said. People are going out to the parks, and then they're bringing in their dogs, and the dogs are on meth and all this stuff. And so that is just something. And I'd seen videos about that already, where people were like, oh my God, we thought our dog was dying. And then we took him into the vet and found out he's on meth. And so that is something that is happening. So that was already in her thing. I hadn't, like, the girl who was telling me, you know, hurry and get to the vets, emergency and stuff. At one point when she was telling me which one to go to, she was like, well, I'm a vet tech, and we've seen this a lot. I would say probably it sounds like he's like ingested some kind of marijuana or something like that. And, but we need to have it checked and all that stuff. So anyways, so I'm there, and the vet's telling me all this stuff, and the vet very much wanted me to just take him. She's like, you know, he's fine, and he just needs to sleep it off, and then he'll probably be really hungry. And she said that they don't see anything. And so then they called the rescue. The rescue wanted all lab work, and I had asked to see him. I was like, he's gonna be so confused. This is so. I was so fucking pissed, and I was like, he's gonna be so confused. And so I said, can I see him? I haven't even said goodbye to him or anything. And so they come and bring him into me. And I think they gave him like 10 minutes or something. And he was like clutching me. Like, and I just know he's sitting there thinking, you know, like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And it had to be so PTSD to him, because I'm sure when his people surrendered him, it had to seem like this same kind of thing. All these people taking and handing him over and stuff. And so he's totally clutching me and looking up at me, and he's seeming completely fine. His eyes aren't wobbling. He's not doing all of that or anything. He seems just like, it's fine. I slept it off. I'm good. Like, and I was thinking, because I had told that girl, I said I hadn't thought about him ingesting anything. And that's another thing. If I would have been in my home, I would have seen the evidence. I would have been like, oh, we got into that. And then I would have known, oh, let's just go sleep. But, you know, it wasn't like that. That's not how it played out. There was no evidence of anything in my house that he was into. And we had just gotten home, and he was like, and then I started thinking, well, maybe that's why he was acting so crazy at the fucking place, whatever he got into. And so I was like, well, when you have those camp places, they do have like where people go out and party and stuff. And I was like, so it could be, you know, he found party remnants or something. I don't know. I know that there was nothing at my house. There was no remnants of anything that he had eaten. I don't just leave just stuff laying around, joints just, oh, here, take that. Like, so, I know it wasn't here, but still, I feel like, and I said, you know, I don't have any medications or alcohol. He seems like he's drunk or something. Because I know I've heard of other dogs getting into like their people's heart medicine, and I don't know, I think Prilosec, any of those things can be a problem. I'm not sure of all the different ones. Like, some dogs may take Prilosec, I don't know. But there's some medications that we take that are not good for them or something, and so the dogs will take them, probably more with blood pressure and heart medicine or something, and the dogs will eat them, and then they can have a problem. So I was like, there's nothing at my house. So even if they say it was marijuana and you smoke pot, that's what I feel like. Like, I feel like I'm in front of the principal or something, being shamed. Like, well, your yard, you've got mushrooms and you smoke pot, so you're not allowed to have this dog. He's our special little dog. And I'll tell you another thing too, is when I went to the vet, you know, because they wanted him to have all of these things. And so right after I'd gotten him and I'd taken him up there, and all of the people who worked at that one, all these vets and stuff, all these vet techs were all coming in just like carrying on and carrying on. Like, oh my God, I've never seen such a nice pug. this is the nicest pug I've ever seen. Gosh, she's so cute. This is the best pug I've ever, just carrying on and carrying on. So then that happened at this one too. And then they were coming out and going, he's so cute how he doesn't even look like a pug. He looks like a miniature English Mastiff. And I said, I know, I have an English Mastiff. And I said, he even started standing like him. When there would be something, they'll both run out on the porch and he'll stand just like Stella. And it's the cutest thing. And he said, like, even his nose and everything. I was like, I know, he's so cute. He looks just like a little tiny English Mastiff. And, well, a little bit more like a bull Mastiff, because he still has, English Mastiffs don't have a mushed-in nose. They just have a droopy face. And so he does have a bit of a mushed-in nose, but a lot of people can't even tell the difference between bull Mastiffs and English Mastiffs anyways. So because then you have the Cane Corsos, you have other ones too that are more distinctive looking. But the difference, I think, in the English is bigger, usually, too. Is the other ones I had said, whatever, they have a mushed up nose more. And pugs and English Mastiff, they come from each other. Like, they are the same kind of line. And where the breeding has gone bigger and smaller, but they are connected. And you can tell, like, they're the same coloring, they look the same, it's so cute. And so anyways, they were coming out and telling me how much they liked him. He's the sweetest guy, he's so cute, and all of that. So all of that whole thing was going again. And then, so the vet is wanting me to take him, and saying, just wait, and I'm going to go call them because everything seems fine. So then, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and I've been there hours, and then I go ask them, and then they said that they called and they said, no, they want him to stay and be monitored for at least 3 hours. They want him overnight. And so I was like, okay. And then the girl I was talking to then, she had been a foster. And so she could I had a little chit chat with her. So I was like, this is some fucking bullshit, man. And then I said, also, do you know then, do they raise the price? Like if they get this big vet bill or something, are they going to raise the price on the dog? Because I'm trying to be adopting him. And she said, no, that's a set price. It's a set price by the age of the dog and the breed or something. And so I was like, because, it seems extreme, $900. And so I was like, but, making it into payments like that, I can handle. And then, but, that's all got to be set up. And now I feel like, that they're pushing. And I swear to God, if they were to take him from me and go and give him to those other people, like how, oh, man. And maybe I'm just really interjecting a lot of stuff, but the way I was being talked to and talked down to, and just like, and I have no rights. I'm just nothing but the chauffeur. Just get him there, do this, do that. And then, it's like, dude, you're talking about a dog that has been living with me that I care about, that I'm advocating for. It's like, because today there's going to be some serious conversations I'm feeling. Like, this is, I'm going to have to, I've checked, then I just came home and I just filled out the thing, take the payment out now, and took a picture and sent it to the girl. So I still haven't heard anything. So we'll see what they say. Because I don't know. Because I was, even when they were saying take him to the vet, I started looking around here. I was like, okay, so if I just, I'm trying to compute. Okay, so if I just say I'm adopting him, I'm taking him, but how do I do that when I can't pay? Like, I have to pay to adopt him right now to have him be mine. Like, it was just this whole thing, and I'm trying to think it through real quick. Can you hear the rain going? Like, fuck. I'm so fucking sick of all this. I feel so fucking sick. Oh, yeah, because of the drive and stuff. The drive was so motherfucking weird. I kept feeling like I was leaving my body. And I kept feeling like I wasn't driving my car. I kept feeling like these cars were going to hit us. I kept thinking, is this what's going to happen now? Am I leaving the game? Is this it? Am I leaving this reality? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I kept feeling like I was leaving my body, and it was like fucking with me so hard. And then I was there at the vets, and I kept feeling so weird. And the energy, and then, being around all these other people's energy, that's one thing too. You are out here and you're you know, your neighbor's energy isn't touching you. Then you go in the city and it's just so fucking much energy. So I don't know if that was overwhelming to me too. And it was just so much. And I kept feeling like I was leaving my body. And it was like, oh, fuck, how am I going to drive? And then my neighbor messages me and says, oh no, she said she had just made her first fire and getting ready for the storm. And she said, this big storm is coming in and I don't have food. And they're saying that they think that this can be floods. And I was like, I didn't know anything about it. And so I was like, fuck, are you kidding me? I'm like in Seattle. And she's like, well, you got to drive safe. It's already started and stuff. I'm like, fuck, god damn. It's fucking dark at this point. And so I'm putting for my navigation to go and whatever, all in her conversation, you know, with the storm and stuff. So then I start driving. Well, I don't even fucking know what, like, there's just this dark energy that's just just fucking harassing me or something. And the windshield wiper started having a big spot right across the whole part where I needed to see, where it was like making this weird thing where I couldn't see. So I'm trying to look under it and trying to look over. It's fucking pouring rain. The fucking traffic is so insane. You got 6 lanes of fucking people. I don't understand how some of these people are going like 80 miles an hour. You can't even motherfucking see the lines. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, this is mental. And, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, why in a place like this, why are they not putting in some kind of other thing? Like these, I've seen these reflective strips and stuff like that where they can put them in. But they keep going out painting, and then there's nothing. Like, and I don't know if it's worse here because of all the rain or something, but you can't motherfucking see the lines. It's like fucking insane, especially when it's fucking raining and shit. You got all these cars going. It was so fucking intense. I swear to God, I wanted to fucking cry. I wanted to lose my mind. I wanted to pull over, but there was too many lanes of traffic and too much insanity, fucking pouring. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm looking at my thing, 46 more miles of just this. That's just to get off the freeway. And then I was like, oh my God, damn. And so I was, so once I get off the freeway, it's almost another 40 miles to get to my house. And then in that part got more intense too. Because then, so the storm would be downpour, torrential downpour, and then it would be clear. Then it would be torrential downpour, then it would be clear. So I'm battling that the whole time, and just not being able to see, people driving crazy, lanes, and I can't see for shit, especially, I don't know, sometimes even with the street lights, it adds so much more glare. And I got out those yellow glasses and it made it worse. Like, I couldn't see shit. And so I'm just like, it was really fucking with my head in reality and stuff. Like, things were looking so weird, and I kept feeling this, like, these weird feelings and stuff where I was like, what in the hell? And it kept being like these glitching, like I was skipping moments and jumping moments or something. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, is this just the energy on the planet? Are we all about to just glitch out? What fucking's going on, man? And so I'm driving through that fucking hellacious thing. Finally get off the freeway and go get gas. The gas station's fucking packed. Go get gas, and then start driving, and then it's just like wind and all these branches down and stuff. So then it's like, oh, son of a bitch, now I've got to go through this. Like, if I'm like, any of these places you get to, if there's a tree down, like if it knocks a big enough branch down that you can't cross, like, I was like, I'll have to get out and pull it and see. But if I can't, then it's like, you got to turn around. Like, when you get out in these roads and you got to turn around and go backtrack, and then even fucking like, oh my God, if the power goes out, oh my God, what if the power in my car? Like, I'm just like having a fucking meltdown while I'm driving. It's just totally stressed. I'm fucking white knuckling it. Totally stressing, totally pissed. I'm so sad about that they wouldn't let me take Archie. I'm stressing out, and I'm trying to battle this. Like, is he not meant to be with me? Like, but we're feeling such a loss. Like, there is such an emptiness here right now. That's what I said, like, Stella, and you can just feel it. There's such an emptiness. It feels like he belongs with us. And then it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm definitely going to call him out on this shit if they're going to try and block my me being the one who has been taking care of him. And if they're going to try and block my adoption or something, and try and say, you know, I don't have a good enough living environment, like, because they can do that for these home environment things. Like, you have to go through this home thing before they can say, oh yeah, you can adopt him. Like, they make the decisions, all these decisions. Like, I don't know, because to me, Archie's already hooked on us. Like, we're hooked on him and he's hooked on us. And he's a part of our little clan. And now he's not with us, and I'm sure he's feeling so horrible. I'm sure he's feeling so confused and so sad. And I'm just so... If I wish it would have been that I would have seen that he had gotten a joint here. I wish I would have seen that he knocked over an ashtray and chewed on a butt thing. They're just like little filters. They're just little paper things. It's not even like a filter like a cigarette where it has all that cottony shit in it. It's just like a twisted paper. And so, I don't know. I mean, I could have something on it, I would think. Like, so if he chewed one, and I'd seen that he chewed one, even if he had ashes on his face or something to signify, and I would have been able to figure out, like, oh, he got some weed, he'll be fine. Because Stella's on the RSO, like, I know, like, when she has too much and she's real sleepy and stuff. And so I kind of seen, and that's why I was like, he seems like he's drunk, but nothing, like, I couldn't figure out, like, where would he have gotten any of this stuff. So it would have to be that he was some kind of neurotoxin. Something's got to be going on. And so I wanted to do right by him, but then it just flips on me, you know. So now it's like I feel like it's up in the air, and I don't know. I don't know what the fucking deal is with the storm, which I wanted to remind people, like, if all of a sudden you don't see me for a few days or a few weeks or whatever, it can mean that we've lost power. Don't forget these people over there haven't had power now 22 days or something. And there was another story. Remember when I was talking about, like, these mountain people are fucking survivors. And so they came across a man who was an 80-year-old man. His house is demolished, his yard's demolished, everything. But they find him there. They help him out. And he hadn't had any food or water for 19 days when they found him. And still was there, 80 years old, kicking it. And so he told him he needed food and water. And they said, well, we'll take you out of here. And he said, no, this is my home. I'm not leaving here. And so I don't know, you know, what he's going to do. That's a part of, like as a soul, it's like, you know, if he wants to attach to that, then that's okay. But that it will be like the end, you know. So it's not like he's doing something wrong, like, stupid fool, he could survive this. We're not all meant to be here to survive it. It's not for that. This isn't that kind of situation. This is a fucking bigger. This is like a, you know, it's like you trying to, you know, like, okay, you know, like how they have, like, these movies, and they'll be like part 1 and part 2 and stuff like that. So it's like you're in part 1 and you're trying to interject yourself in part 2. And it's like, it's not like that. You either have a part you're playing in part 2, or your part is ending in part 1, and then you are transmuting into a different reality, a different thing. And so you and that doesn't mean you're not going to come right back to this other one. You just don't go through all of the trauma that's going to be to get there. Because there's going to be a lot of trauma. This is going to be a lot of stuff. And every soul is not going to be here for that. It depends on what your lessons are, what you're here to role play, what you're here to learn from. So the things that people are going to go through are all about that. So, I mean, there's definitely a part of, like, you know, it's not some winner because you're going to go through it. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. Like, there's a lot of things about the winners are the people who are just leaving. Like, but, you know, I mean, it isn't really like that, though. Because what we're doing is what's best for us. What's best for our souls. What's best for our learning. What's best for our completing who we are. And our understanding of who we are and stuff. And so that is, everything plays out the way it's supposed to play out. And it's supposed to affect different people in different ways. So, you know, there's definitely going to be people who are going to go forward and are going to keep getting things happening, but the whole thing is this way of looking at things differently. Everything is about going outside of the box. I think the more that we go outside of the box, the more that we lead out of this mind control programming, that the way people have been living. And so the more that we, think about things and talk about things, and the more we connect with our higher self and our team of guides, our guidance team. And you have more than just like, it's not just like you have a set. And I don't know if it's like your shadow, like a one or two or something. And I don't know how it goes, like how you have like this guide that's always with you. And if that is your like, I don't know, because like we're in this other reality. And when we go out of this reality and we go into like the life review where people say like they're very aware of this guide that's with them the whole time. If at some point you merge with that guide, if that guide isn't you in your higher form, and that you merge with it, like, I don't know. Like I'm saying, if this is some kind of a shadow aspect of self that is teaching you or teaching itself. You hear that? It's still too dark. I can't see how hard it's in the trees. Usually it's when the wind chimes start going. Yesterday when I left, the wind chimes were going and I was already nervous. And when I was driving, I was like, well, maybe there's going to be a windstorm and I'm not supposed to be there. Maybe the tree's going to fall on my house while I'm gone or something. And people are like, don't feed into that. Yeah, as one person said. It's like you just, every single thought that comes into your mind doesn't just happen because it came into your mind. It's when you feed something, when you keep confirming it, you build on it, you build on it, you build on it. And that still can take years. Like, and this is something that they use us to do that. It's something through their programming and stuff, how they create the reality that we fear, like, so, and they get us to think about things and to focus our energy on things. So anyways, but things are going to come into your mind. Every single thing that comes into your mind doesn't mean it's going to just happen. But definitely I don't feed that. So when it's coming into my mind, I don't sit there and feed it and feed it and feed it. It's like, okay, thanks for stopping by. See you later. It's like, I'm not feeding you. I don't have any energy for you. So it's just like, you just got to push it out of your mind and, say thanks for dropping by, but got no supper for you. So that is, no soup for you. So that is the, not feeding into your fears. You start feeding into your fears will feed back off of you, and those things will start to happen. So anyways, and I, it is a battle for me, this fucking windstorm thing and trees falling on houses. It is a battle to just keep myself from not feeling panicky, and then and not to get those visions of like, what's it feel like to have a tree hit you? And we've all had these really horrific things happen to us. Like we've all been trapped in, in mines falling in on us, or buried alive, or landslides and avalanches, like all these different things. We've all lived through it. We continue to exist. So we have lived through these things, but we've also died from these things. So we died from them, but we continue on to battle through, and then we go in and have another. But you do have like this guide that is with you all the time. And it feels kind of like it would be like your advanced self that is really there, talking to you. But I don't know, but I know that you also have your family members, you have ancestors, you have people who are trying to course correction from their own mistakes. You have old boyfriends that show up. You have all sorts of people. Like fucking people have people that they don't even know show up sometimes. But I would think there's a reason. You have a ghost that shows up who's really trying to communicate with you. There's a reason for it. There's some sort of a connection or something. Sometimes they just can recognize certain people's energy And then they can understand that you can feel them or see them, and they're just looking, I don't know, to see themselves, to feel themselves. Like, I think there probably is always people walking around us who have left their bodies, who are by dead in the game, but they're just, confused, trying to talk to people, trying to see, like, why are you guys not talking to me? That was just in a movie I just started put on the other day. I think it was a trailer or something. Maybe it was a trailer I'd seen. And this girl was going around and she was talking to people and nobody could hear her. And she thought people were just kind of being mean to her or something, but it was definitely at a certain point where you're just like, oh, this girl's dead. And so it made me interested in the show. And now I don't know what it is. So it might be a movie that's coming out or something. Maybe it's on Netflix. You'll see that stuff too. And I can't see that. I can't see Hulu. I can't see stuff on Peacock. It might be something on Peacock. So I don't know. Jesus Christ. This is going to be a fucking stressful day. No doubt about it. Because even if you try and go somewhere, then roads can be blocked off. Roads wash away. The rivers, because there's all these rivers. And they come up and they go across the road. The wind blows down trees. It blows down limbs. It blows down branches. It knocks trees over on lines and stuff. It's like... And that is why I even take the dogs with me when I go somewhere, because that stuff happens and then you can't get back to the house. And then your dogs are stuck, or your kids or whatever. So I just take them with me. It's like, oh, man. I don't want them to be stuck within that concert thing. But when I was driving back from that last night, and I'm thinking the end of November is going to probably be this kind of bullshit. There's no fucking way. I'm not going to drive a couple hours to go to a concert and then turn around, drive a couple hours back in bad weather. And I can't keep the dogs in the car through the whole concert, too. That would just be rude. And that was hard on them yesterday, is they were telling me just to leave, that they were they're 100% keeping him and going to monitor him for a couple days. Like, they were making such a big thing on this neurological thing. And then when I got there, and he was just good, sell the car fine, and I'm like, oh, he probably did ingest something. He probably, no telling, was out at the park. Or it's not a park, it's a camp place. And, and I know of people, like, I'm thinking where it went to in my mind is I'm thinking about all the people I've known of who go party camping. You get a big group of people and they go out and they just party it up and for the weekend out camping. And I was like, oh, I'm sure that there has to be that going on out there. This is a fucking cool-ass camp place. So I'm sure there's people that just go out there and party for the weekend with their friends. So, especially before it gets too cold. And then some people have campers and stuff. And a lot of people live in their campers now. So, anyways, but once he had slept it off and stuff, and then it seemed fine. And then he could have come back to me. But no, it wasn't up to me. I wouldn't have even taken him in. I thought they'd maybe be happy, save money. Nope. And as soon as it went that way, I was like, okay, is this some kind of low-key, they're trying to take him away from me? And does this have to do with Morty? Because I still blame them on the Morty thing, especially when, this really was getting me too. Is like immediately with him, they're like, get him to emergency. Oh, well, isn't that funny? So, and they're calling them all. And then when it was Morty, I was having a call. These are the same people. I was having to call, and then I'm having to wait, not getting in. Then I'm having to message these girls back, say they can't see him. We'll call this one. So for Archie, you're going to call all of these different ones. You're going to get it set up. But for me, I was the one who was supposed to be calling on Morty. And then there was no emergency. And then all of a sudden, with Archie, they're like, oh, there's one in Bellingham you can go to. But it was full. All of them were full. Because that's what happens too. All these emergency places get full. There were so many people there. And so many people with all these issues. And I know, even when I'm sitting here listening to them talking, I want to go around telling these people, start taking ivermectin. Get your dog on that. And anyways, so just going, and I shouldn't have even said that word. Fucking shit. So, the tech, I just make a bunch of weird noise, like, so anyways, that, was tragic enough. But anyways, I just felt like the whole thing was weird. The way that they were not letting him go back with me and then trying to drag it out like, oh no, he's going to stay here for days and he's not going to be able to go back. He's got to go stay to Seattle. I was like, so anyways, that is, a battle today. And we all have our own. Like, I haven't even gone on TikTok to see what the fuck is going on. And I saw yesterday when I was sitting in the car waiting, I went on a couple times and saw, like, there's France is flooded, and it's not being talked about on the news, but this keeps going and going and going. So France is underwater. All these different places are going to keep going underwater and stuff. We're all going to keep battling, personal problems, community problems, civil problem. We're all gonna. This is our battle. It's our battle to change, and then whatever, at some point it's all gonna flip, or it's gonna be a relief. I think because we've been battling and battling, and it's gonna feel like fuck, but it's gonna intensify for some other people because their battle's gonna switch, because they're gonna suddenly see things very different, because they are only seeing half the side, and that's because of their own biases that keeps them from full information, because that's, oh, I'm not listening to them. So they restrict themselves from all the information and use all their judgment. And so see, all these really toxic characteristics in people are really at the surface. And those are the things that when the thing flips, that they're going to land on. And that's what's going to, shake shit up. Because people are going to be so impacted by seeing themselves fully for the first time. Because there's so many of these people that don't realize what hypocrites they are. They don't realize, like, what bullies they are and how hateful they are. And that they are, like, this person coming on my thing and telling me, like, do you realize that you are being judgmental, coming in judging me, telling me how I need to be? Like, so, and, to me, it's like the people, people don't have to be just like me to, I mean, it's not like you have to conform and be like me. It's just like, be you. And, either you agree with things I say or you don't, but it doesn't have to be like, well, we're going to, she needs to change. She needs to go watch this. She needs to go listen to this music and stuff. It's like, dude, you probably should listen to some more of my videos before you come in and tell me, like I just can't even. Just the ego on some of these people and their own inability to see their own judgmental. Like, at least I'm aware of, like, sometimes I'm going in and judging somebody and call myself out. These people just go at it like guns a-blazing, coming in at you, and with their ego, fucking, they're better than you, and they're going to let you know how you need to improve yourself. So, luckily, we have these fucking guru, fucking new spiritual people out here. But their light's about to go out in a big way. Like, they think that they're the light holders, and they're about to find out that they don't see. they're lost, and they're very three-dimensional. They're very focused on three-dimensional things. They're not all focused on spiritual stuff. Their whole spiritual thing is just to be like, well, I'm a starseed. I don't even belong here. I don't. This Matrix, you fools, you NPCs, you're just a bunch of ignoramuses and stuff like that. And it's like, what? I don't know. It's all I know is that things are going to become crystal clear to us. So it can seem like, I'm a rag-nag, bitch-ass person or whatever, ragging about it. It will show itself. It's not going to happen because I say it. It's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So whatever happens is going to happen. I'm just saying what I think is going to happen. What I see coming. When I look out and I see the trajectory of where things are going and where I see it heading, I'll just share what I see. And, and some of us have the ability to see clearly somehow. And I've had enough confirmation, so it could be something shocking for me, where it's like, but I really 100% believe that most of these people who are out there who think that they're so spiritual that they're not spiritual at all. And there's a big thing about, playing the part of being spiritual and being spiritual. Being spiritual is different. It is, it's a different kind of battle in life. And it's intense. It was like I said, like this whole thing is like, well, am I pushing this? Am I going with the flow? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to let him go? Am I supposed to what is going on? Am I supposed to push through? Am I supposed to, and it's going to go the way it goes. And and however it goes, I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen in my fucking neighborhood. I don't know what's about to happen in my life. I don't know what's about to happen with the fucking Archie. And it's stressful. And, being spiritual, you don't just sit there and go like, well, I'm just going to leave the matrix and stuff like that. You got to understand there's a purpose. There's things that we're learning and growing from all of this strategic movement through the energy of the universe. So it's, whatever. I've been talking long enough. I'm rambling, hitting myself in the eyes. I don't even have control of my own fingers. I'm punching myself in the face. Like, oh, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm telling you, I feel like I'm slipping out of my body or something. Like something feels so weird to me. I don't know, but anyways, like if I don't, I was thinking about that. I think after I was thinking about the people being off and then this storm coming and stuff, I was like, fuck, if we lose power, there would be people who would be like, fuck, she could be dead, we don't know. Or if I died in the car wreck, that's what I was thinking too. And people could be just, oh, she probably doesn't have power. It's so trippy. Like, because if you don't know me in person, how would you ever know what happened? Like, so anyways, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think that I'm here for the next part. I think that's what I've been being prepared for. And so, I don't know. It seems like this slipping out of myself, maybe just more of this transition to my new self. I'm just not sure. I'll just be glad when we start getting more clarity of truth of stuff. I just feel like we're just in this really dark battle right now. It's like the darkest before the light, though. That's what you gotta remember. I feel like we're at the darkest part. We're at the hardest part to battle through, and then things are gonna flip. And then the part that's gonna be hard on the people when things flip is the truth, their connection to the truth. So there's gonna be people who are gonna freak the fuck out over the medical stuff. There's gonna be people who lost people. Because there's already people who are, oh, they told him they were brain dead. There was a guy, they were starting to do surgery and take his organs. They said he was brain dead and he fucking woke up. Because the brain dead's not real. And then, so there's gonna be more and more, and there's gonna be so many people are gonna be like, freak the fuck out. Like, this is what's gonna take down the medical, is the truth. Because people are gonna freak out when they start finding out about people that they loved and what happened. So that is where you're gonna get a lot of anger and tension is gonna build in that, as it takes that down. We've already got the government and judicial and stuff is already falling apart. Medical's already falling apart. Jobs, corporations, it's all falling apart. But when things flip, there's going to be a tension. There's going to be an anger. There's going to be a release of so much, like people, the information that they've been battling. How many people have been telling you you're crazy, you're a liar, you're that. And then when it hits them, how they're going to feel about themselves. So that is the part that's going to be very impactful. For some of us, it's not going to be the same impact. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel like, fuck, God, the truth finally. And then, you're going to hopefully be at a place in your healing that when you see yourself, it's going to be like, oh, okay, good, nice to meet you. We're in this together. And not hate yourself. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be hating themselves, be mad at themselves, be bitterly mad at themselves, suicidal mad at themselves. So it's going to be, I'm not saying it's going to be all crystal perfect once this goes down. My hand's going to sleep. Once this goes down, I'm not saying, oh, it's going to be so great. It's going to be good for some people, though. There's going to be some people where it's going to be like, and that's what's going to help lead the other people. Like, it's going to get better, you guys. I promise you it's going to get better. And you just got to keep going. And that's when there's going to be so much more about healing and healing centers and a whole new direction. health and fitness and all that, which, you know, if you don't have it in you to exercise, apparently this is a thing and it's a true thing. Start practicing it. So just go into your mind and start visioning yourself doing the stuff. So just sit there on your chair, like if you're in a wheelchair or something, and you're like, fuck, I can't get up. I'm so stiff and I can't move around. She says get up and move, but I can't. Oh, my hand's off of it. Fuck. I can't get up and move. Then you use your head and visualize. So you go in and you just visualize yourself. Get yourself down there doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, doing jumping jacks, and envision what it's doing to your body. And it changes it. Changes it. And is what I had said though before when I started doing these little weights, you know, and I'm like, man, you can really go, oh, and really get it in your mind, like I'm lifting a lot of weight. And I have all these benefits from just these two weights. Where I used to be somebody who went to the gym, used to be like, well, fuck, you know, you gotta go for hours or something to get in shape. But see, that's a mindset. So all those people believe that, and then you start creating that because that's what you believe. So if you start believing, like, you know, I just got to take time in meditation to, but at some point you're going to have to make movement. You're going to have to start stretching and getting the kinks out. And the kinks will start going out when you start putting in more minerals and stuff. And magnesium, like this morning when I got up, I had a horrible headache. And I just started spraying the shit out of magnesium on my feet, took a couple. And because magnesium is for inflammation and all that stuff. So it really does help a lot with that stuff. So, you know, you make sure you get enough magnesium, copper, iron. And those things are like the building blocks. And then there's more in the, because there's like over 100 minerals that we need and stuff. So that's why the mineral salts have so many. And so taking those, where you can just take a couple of those little crunchy kernel things and eat those a couple times a day when you drink some water. So you'll start feeling more flexible and stuff, but you know, don't feel frustrated if you can't do anything yet. Just start using your mind and start doing it. And there's people having results. Their bodies are changing from using their minds. So I'm going to start doing that some too. I'm just going to start, because I do that all the time anyways, but I want to start, and I had already noticed, like, you can change things. Like, you envision things and you can change things. So, like, I don't know, like, on, like, the shape of your eyes or the shape of your nose or something. But I think you can change, like, your perspective of it. Like, it may not bother you, like your eyes or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I was fucking rambling, I swear to God. So I'm gonna go. It's wind. It's Archie. Like, I really feel like there's such an emptiness. And that is one thing it's definitely shown me is like, okay, I really do want to adopt him. I really do like him, even if he is a little hellcat sometimes, a little monster. And then I do think that Max is feeling really sad without him because they are so cute together. Even though Archie's kind of a bully, they are so cute. The way that they run together and then when they're all three together, the way they all move together and stuff, it's just stunk. So anyways, I'll be really sad if they fucking try and block my adoption now. So, but that's the thing is that like the universe is doing, like, you can only do so much. You can't make things be what they're not meant to be. And I don't know if he has somebody else who, you know, I just don't know. I don't know if I'm trying to hold on to him and the universe is trying to place him where he's supposed to be, you know. And so that's where you gotta just get in the flow and really think, you know, what am I trying to do and what am I trying to do it for? What am I trying to make happen and why do I want it to happen and what am I trying to do? So anyways, I'm just gonna go sit here and continue being sick for fucking months, I swear to God. I think we're all sick. It's so wild too where you see all these people like, oh, well, I'm getting sick and it must be that. It's like, it's the goddamn air, people. And they all get, And all these people are like, well, I've got this autoimmune thing. It's the fucking toxins create an autoimmune system. It's deliberate. It's an over exaggeration of your body trying to get the chemicals and stuff out. And the biggest thing that people need to do is detox and change their lifestyle. You got to get the least amount of toxins and chemicals inside of you. We're breathing in enough to fucking kill us, like. And so you got to get those ones out. And I see the flowers are painted on my door. You can't see them right now. Whatever. I'm just like, I'm gonna glitch out today. I'm just gonna glitch out. So if you don't see me, we'll meet up again sometime. I don't know. Anyways, just remember what you're doing here. You're learning how to love yourself, how to love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. And I'm gonna be working on that today. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.